To the rich and privileged, air travel should be a luxury and a favorite pastime. It becomes a nightmarish and unpleasant experience when you are kept at the airport for long hours and your flight is cancelled. The Joint Committees on Aviation of the National Assembly has concluded plans to summon airline operators and aviation agencies over flight delays experienced in the last few days. Senator Smart Adeyemi gave a hint when he was on an oversight visit to the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA. Aviation fuel has jumped to 400 naira per litre. Sometimes something seems to happen when the high and mighty are scandalized. This is curious. Must it be?
You just like blowing grammar. You know, who is not scandalized now? Are you not scandalized by the unrelenting rise in food prices, for example? Who is not scandalized? Everything is going up. The frustration is such that Nigerians are almost at the brink. So the truth is, when you look at the weather at this time, it's really, really bad. So sometimes those delays, those cancellations are necessary.
Okay.
We have to admit
strategic.
That adverse weather, if the pilot cannot see beyond 800 meters,
yeah,
then the weather is very bad. So they are not likely to fly. But you know, we are naturally impatient. We want to get on the aircraft. But it makes no sense to fly in bad weather because it can bring down an aircraft. So, well, of course, there are other issues like aviation fuel scarcity and all that. There was a time when some airlines were leaving this country to go and source for aviation fuel in Ghana. It was that bad. Yes, especially the foreign airlines. You go all the way to Ghana to get aviation fuel.
And they burn fuel to get there.
Of course. But you have to stay in business. One thing that can knock you out of business is that if you do not have access to the aviation fuel, how do you fly the plane? So they go all the way to get aviation fuel. So there are other delays caused by air traffic controllers and all that. Sometimes if the president is aircraft is overboard, of course they are going to ensure that you do not land. So you can over in the air for up to 30 minutes until everything is sorted before you will be given the permission to land. So we know that these things happen, but technical issues like bad weather or even bird strike, which will force an airline to change. To go for a different aircraft to evacuate passengers. No, these things happen, but Nigerian Airlines, maybe because people don't teach them a lesson for just arbitrarily canceling flights or keeping people waiting for so many hours. Maybe that's why it's so rampant here. In other lands, they will sue you. You will now know that, look, it makes no sense to simply keep people waiting. I had been in the airport before for an 11 a.m. flight that took off past 10 p.m. Yes. So it's that bad. And we've seen it. I remember there was another flight that was delayed with a governor of one of the southwest states and one of the top ministers. They all had to wait in the airport for so many hours before they were eventually and they will not tell you. That's the painful thing.
Good.
They will not tell you. They will just keep you waiting. No communication of any sort.
That's what should irk anybody. You know, you keep people waiting for long hours and no communication. Nobody's telling anybody anything.
It's in the character of some of the airlines. Okay, I remember very well.
I thought you were going to say in our character.
No, I won't say our character. Okay, let's be specific. Let's be specific and let's revert to the airline. Okay, one airline that has been taken over by Hapcom was known for it. And they won't do anything. They won't beg you. They will just cancel.
It's as if they are doing you a favor.
As if they are doing you a favor, you are not paying for it. I remember very well, I missed my flight to Accra one time like that. I paid for it. They penalized me.
No, you're not for pay.
No, they penalized me for it. Okay, they rescheduled the trip for the morning. 7 a.m. We could not leave. We could not leave Lagos until 3 p.m.
Nobody told you anything.
Nobody told us anything. And then the next thing that we complain, they start saying that, okay, there's nothing they can do, is one of those things. And we should, apart from the fact that Jide mentioned, technical issues and other issues, most of the airlines, they don't plan for those routes. That's,
That's curious.
Yes, they don't usually plan for it. Some of them will rather wait for, maybe flight coming from Maputo, from from ECOWAS region.
Of course,
for local flights.
Air control must clear you before you take off on land.
I know. But what about not having the required number of aircraft for those flights? The required number of, and then managing the aircraft. One aircraft will go to Ghana, then they will wait for it to go to Port Harcourt, and then that same aircraft will go to Abuja. We've been saying that.
Okay, so Smart Adeyemi is Jide, one of your senators, and so now the National Assembly is wading into the matter. You are begging the question: would it change anything?
No.
It's routine.
It's just, I don't see how these guys can change. They've been doing this to us for years. What can make, the Consumer Protection Agency had waded into this airline problem before, yet we didn't see any change. They waded into it. Yet we didn't see any change. So we just have to live with it. We just have to live with it. The airline business is in danger in our country. Yet more and more of us are taking to air travel because the roads are not safe. Not just because there are gullies on the roads, because kidnappers have made our highways their home. So more and more people, these days you find that even some routes that we didn't have airlines patronizing, they are now on those routes.
Necessity.
If you travel to Taraba now, the aircraft will be full.
Wow.
And it was not like that before. Nobody wants to travel on the road.
Sorry.